The village of Green Hollow nestled between mist-shrouded hills, its cobblestone paths worn smooth by generations of farmers. I, Karen, often stole moments by the riverbank, charcoal in hand, sketching the way sunlight fractured through the ancient oaks. My fingers itched to paint the world as I saw it, alive, trembling with color, but the villagers' laughter echoed behind me. "Dreamer," they sneered, "canvas won't fill your belly." Mother's worried eyes haunted me too, her hands calloused from mending neighbors' clothes while my pigments gathered dust. One evening I stumbled upon a canvas torn by wind, half buried in mud. I salvaged it, feverishly painting the storm clouds bruising the sky. When old Thomas found me, he spat, "Wasting time again, boy." His words slithered under my skin. That night, I hurled my brushes into the hearth. Flames devoured my latest work, a portrait of Father, his smile forever frozen in memory. Ash clung to my lungs. Weeks bled into months. I avoided the river, the woods, anything that reminded me of failure, but dreams clawed at me, vivid, relentless. A voice whispered, "Find the hermit." Rumor spoke of Baba Vanand, a recluse who dwelled where the forest swallowed the horizon. Desperation drove me at dawn, my boots crunching frost as shadows stretched like skeletal hands. The forest loomed, its pines groaning. Twigs snapped behind me. I spun, heart hammering, nothing but a fox's amber glare. Deeper I trudged, the air thickening with rot and moss. A crow's cry pierced the silence. Turn back, it seemed to mock. But I pressed on, clutching Mother's locket, her last gift before the fever took her. At dusk, a shack materialized through the fog, its roof sagging under ivy. Smoke curled from a chimney. My knuckles hovered at the door. What if he's a myth? Before I could retreat, it creaked open. Baba Vanand stood framed in firelight, his beard silver as moonlight, eyes sharp as flint. "You've been expected," he rasped. The hut smelled of sage and secrets. He gestured to a stool carved with strange symbols. "Speak, child." My voice cracked as I confessed, the jeers, the doubt, the hollow ache where passion once burned. Baba listened, his gaze never wavering. Finally he leaned forward. "Let me tell you of a seed." He described a seed buried in barren soil, cursed by its own fragility. It envied the river's song, the eagle's flight, the stars' cold fire. It wept, Baba murmured, until the storm came. Rain hammered the earth, drowning the seed's cries, but roots clawed downward, anchoring it. "Growth is violence," he said, stoking the fire. "It demands surrender." Outside, wind howled, shadows danced like specters on the walls. Baba's voice dropped. The seed became a sapling, though it didn't know why. Frost bit its leaves, wolves gnawed its bark, still it grew. His fingers brushed a scar on his wrist, a jagged, raised line. "Pain is a teacher, Karen, not a jailer." Tears blurred my vision. What if I'm not strong enough? Baba's laugh rumbled, low and warm. "The tree doesn't question its purpose, it becomes." He pressed a dried leaf into my palm, veins like fractured lightning. "Return tomorrow, the story isn't finished." I left, the leaf burning in my pocket. The forest felt different, lighter, as if the trees breathed with me. But as I neared the village, a figure lurked in the alley. Old Thomas? His cane tapped the stones. "Witchcraft won't save you, boy," he hissed. My blood turned to ice. The next morning, I raced back to Baba's hut, Thomas's threat gnawing at my ribs. Baba awaited me with a clay bowl of murky tea. "Drink," he ordered. It tasted of earth and bitterness. "Today you'll learn the storm's secret." He led me to a gnarled tree behind his shack, its trunk split by lightning. "Touch it," he said. The bark seared my fingertips, a phantom heat. "Scars are maps," Baba whispered. "They show where you've survived." I thought of Father's empty chair. Mother's trembling hands. What if my map leads nowhere? Baba's story unfolded. The sapling, now a tree, endured droughts that cracked the earth. Its branches grew twisted, ugly. Villagers chopped its limbs for kindling. Yet it gave shelter to the axe-wielder's child, Baba said. A girl hid beneath its boughs, fleeing a wolf. The tree's thorns tore her dress but spared her life. "Purpose isn't pretty," he growled. "It's survival." That night, I sketched the tree, its imperfections jagged and beautiful. Days blurred into ritual, tea at dawn, stories at dusk. Baba taught me to mix paints from crushed beetles and clay. "Blood and earth," he grinned, but Green Hollow's scorn festered. Thomas rallied others, branding me a heretic. Rocks shattered my window. "Abomination," they chanted. I clutched Baba's leaf, its edges frayed. "Run," Mother begged, but the hut's firelight called me back. One moonless night, Baba thrust a lantern into my hands. Follow the owl. The bird's amber eyes glowed through the woods, leading me to a clearing. In the center stood a canvas, my size, stretched on a frame of branches. Paint your truth, Baba commanded. I dipped my brush into night itself, strokes furious, wild. The owl watched, unblinking, as I poured out every scream, every hope. Dawn stained the sky crimson. The painting shimmered, a tree engulfed in flames, wet roots clawing through ash. I returned to the village, the canvas strapped to my back. Thomas ambushed me at the square. "Burn it," he roared. Men advanced, torches raised, my pulse thundered. "Wait!" A stranger stepped from the crowd, his coat foreign tailored. "Who made this?" he asked, staring at the painting. His accent curled like smoke. "I did," I breathed. The stranger circled the canvas, fingers hovering. This is alive." Thomas spat. "It's devilry." The stranger ignored him. "I'm a curator from the Argent Gallery. This belongs in the city." The crowd stilled. Mother's gasp cut the silence. The curator paid in gold coins that glinted like stolen suns. Thomas slunk away, muttering. But as the man loaded the painting into his carriage, he paused. "Come with me. Create more." The village held its breath. Mother wept. Baba's voice echoed. "Growth is violence." I boarded the carriage. The city was a cacophony of steel and shouts. My first exhibition loomed, a vaulted hall crammed with critics in black suits. They scrutinized my works, murmuring words like primitive and unrefined. Doubt coiled in my gut. That night I found a dried leaf slipped under my door. "Baba's?" The gallery opened at midnight. Crowds poured in. A woman froze before my storm tree painting. I lost a child," she whispered. It's pain, but it's hope." Others clustered, tears glistening. The curator clasped my shoulder. "You've unmasked their souls." Years later, I stood on a stage, students' eager faces upturned. "How did you conquer fear?" one asked. I opened my palm, a scar, white and twisted from the day I saved my canvases from Thomas's fire. "Fear isn't the enemy," I said. "It's the brushstroke that gives depth to courage." Some nights I still dream of Green Hollow, the river's whisper, Baba's hut swallowed by ivy. I send gold to Mother, though she claims she needs none. Last week a parcel arrived, my first charred sketch, salvaged from the hearth. Now it hangs framed, a reminder. The seed, the storm, the surrender.